Tak żyć nie można, Izo. Przecież ktoś musi ci się podobać.
Nie, nikt.
Wczoraj w Lasku Kalifornijskim zamordowano młodą kobietę. Tutaj jest napisane, że to morderstwo na tle seksualnym.
Całuj mnie.
Piękna wampirzyca i jej mordercze uzależnienie.
Ja jestem wampirem.
A ja psychiatrą.
To jest tylko wytwór twojej wyobraźni. Wampiry nie istnieją.
A teraz powiedz, kim jesteś naprawdę?
Jestem wampirem.
W cyklu Demony i Grzesznice lubię nietoperze Grzegorza Warchoła.
Ciociu, znowu?
W lutym w telewizji Kino Polska.
All right, folks. Yeah, that was a 1986 Polish film, vampire film, no less, called I Like Bats. So I just thought I'd kick off the stream with that trailer. I've never heard of it. It is one of the new films that is just dropped on Tubi. And, I just created the stream once again. It's Friday night, because there's just a load of crap streams out there. I was trying to get into a few, not happening. They're just either like e-fapping some pathetic garbage, or I don't know, just not really doing much of anything. So I thought I would take this opportunity to get into the brand new Tubi stuff that is happening. They have just dropped some great, great stuff this weekend as of today. And so the last time we left off with Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary. So what we have now is we have The Damned. Don't You Wish that We Were Dead? Now, this is a documentary. If you don't know who The Damned are, well, then get the hell off my stream. Now, The Damned are one of the greatest rock groups in history. They started off definitely as a hardcore punk group, and they kind of, they never really totally shed that persona of being really hardcore punk, but they certainly did a lot of different things. They kind of experimented around musically, and I saw them a couple of times live in the 80s, and I saw the one of the just fantastic show. I still remember it was the Phantasmagoria show. And I want to say this is like circa 1984, somewhere right around that time. And the entire stage was a graveyard, and it was lit beautifully. They had like simulated lightning and rain and so forth on the stage. And The Damned were just fantastic. They are great live. A great live show. But in any case, highly recommended this documentary, The Damned. Don't You Wish That We Were Dead? Indeed, Dave Vanian, Captain Sensible, and of course, Rat Scabies on the scene. So it's just, if you like rock docs, you gotta check it out. Next up, of course, Firefly, the series. And I've seen a few of these. I have not seen all of the Firefly episodes, but I do plan on watching this. I just added it, of course, to my list on Tubi. That's tubitv.com, folks. And of course, yeah, really quite a good series. There was the film that came before it, really good too. Well worth watching. So I'm looking forward to catching the episodes that I have missed. And they have added all 3 John Wick films, folks. Yes, I love the John Wick films. They're great, man. As far as like current 21st century action films, they're hard to beat. I don't think I've seen a better series of action films. Like, how you start off with a great action film. Then, of course, they're quick to do a sequel, and then a follow-up to the sequel. Maybe they'll end up doing 4 or 5, and they're usually, most of them are crap. The first 3 John Wick episodes, if you will, are great. They're fantastic. They're just top-notch. Action, crime, thriller set in, this world of assassins. so well written, directed, performed. The acting is great. It's just, it's a joy to watch these films. I've seen them, of course, a few times, each one of them a few times, and just in very enjoyable stuff on that. See, as you see, they've got John Wick 2. We've got some comments already. Shadowhawk Talks is on the scene. Hail Horror Mike. Well, hail right back at you, Shadowhawk Talks. Eggnome here. Hiya, Mike. Thanks for the Tubi update. My queue is starting to get whelmed. Yes. Yes, you've got to whelm that queue, my good man. Michael Taylor. Hi, Mike. Hi back at you, my good fiend. Daniel Sweet. Hey, Horror Mike. Short time no see. Got my pad and paper ready. John Wick is the ultimate badass. Yes, he is. I think those films are great. I mean, look, considering what we have today in cinema, it's like John Wick is wonderfully not woke. Obviously, it is just badass action, crime, thriller stuff. There is just no bullshit about it. And I just loved it. I love that series. One of my favorite series, and I've got some of the comic books too, which have at the very least great covers. I think you might agree with that. Um, and so here we go with, oh God, following up that glowing report of John Wick. We've got the end of days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just watched this again. It had been like, God. Well, it's probably been like 30 years since I've seen this damn film. The End of Days, and God, is it bad. I mean, it's just such a mess. It's just such a mess of a film. I mean, there's good stuff in it. And like Gabriel Byrne as Lucifer, quote unquote, whatever, the demon. Uh he's really good. He's suitably wicked in it and stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff that, I don't know, makes little sense in the film, and it just makes it less. I mean, it's just not very enjoyable. I don't know what you guys thought about that, but just really not into the End of Days. Now, Barbed Wire, I put on my list. Love it. I plan on. I mean, as I recall, of course, Pamela Anderson just absolutely top notch with that. And of course, you've got American Pie. They've added a ton of the American Pie films. I thought they were hilarious. Got to watch them again. It's been a few years, but I thought they were great when they came out. Yes, 2007, Balls of Fury. Yes, with Christopher Walken. This is going to be a great one. And of course, I mean, it is hilarious. It's just I mean, if you like this kind of thing, it's that sports comedy kind of thing, but it's table tennis, right? And it is just, it is so hilarious. I mean, talk about a cast. You've got Walken in there, George Lopez, Maggie Q, Robert Patrick, James Hong, Dan Fogler. I mean, just Terry Crews, Jason Scott Lee, Thomas Lennon is in this, Aisha Tyler. You know, what a great cast, and it's hilarious. It's been a few years once again since I've seen Balls of Fury, but as I recall, it was really quite amusing and well worth watching. So, looking forward to checking that out. Here we're getting into, this is the prime, my good friends here. We're about to dive into some prime stuff. Michael Taylor says, let's see here. What do we got here? Shadowhawk Talk says, hello, horror fans. Hello. Yes, indeed. Michael Taylor says, Mike, off topic. Automatic Comics acquired two great pre-code horror comics. That's great. We'll get to it after the show. I'm on a track here, Michael Taylor. Shadowhawk Talk says, just started a John Wick marathon on my Tubi. Yes. you got to do it. I mean, it's just like, that's just like watching those three films back to back. I don't know, I don't know if I could think of really a better crime action type of scenario, with a series. It's John Wick is, as we were just, I see some people just came in. John Wick is currently, they've just dropped all three films, John Wick films on Tubi. So you guys have got to check it out. And check this out. Tubi continues to just absolutely amaze with their additions of films. Look, folks, I haven't seen a lot of these films that they're adding. I think a lot of them, of course, maybe are foreign films that are dubbed. As a matter of fact, I know that is the case. But let's start off with Endgame 1983. Okay. Now, I've never seen this film. I don't even know if I've ever heard of the damn film. 1983, an underground society of mutant rebels attempts to overthrow a tyrannical government by infiltrating a sport in which humans are hunted as prey. So you can see where they're getting, the whole, takeoff exploitation. Directed by Joe D'Amato, of course. He did quite a few exploitation films back in the 70s and 80s, maybe even 90s, But here we go with 1975. Now, this is just a weird one. Exorcism. Guys, have you guys ever heard of this one? It's dubbed. Obviously, it's foreign. I don't know. I've never heard of it. I just dropped it on my list. It's Paul Naschy is in this. 1975, a young woman unknowingly participates in a satanic ceremony and gets possessed by the spirit of her late father. God, that's a new one on me, folks. I do not know. Human Beasts, dubbed. This is, of course, yet another. Looks like it's Japanese, Spanish. Oh no, it's Spanish. Sorry about that. It's Paul Naschy who also directs it. He stars and directs in Human Beasts, 1980. A hitman double crosses his yakuza employers and flees with a cache of diamonds, taking refuge with a family who have plans of their own. What the hell? Once again, folks, I've never heard of this film. Uh, I don't know about you guys. Let's see what we got. Bullet Overload. Yeah, Bullet Overload indeed. Shadowhawk Talks. My God. And here we have 1979 Delirium. Now check out that poster, man. That is something right there. That is just a crazy ass poster. 1979, right on the edge of the 80s here. Delirium. When a series of murders rocks St. Louis, an underground organization of white collar vigilantes hires a deranged veteran to help clean up the streets. New one on me. Boy, it's amazing. The stuff that they're getting on Tubi is just astounding. Now, I'm going to play this again, guys. I played the trailer. It's just a minute long. I Like Bats. Have you ever heard of that one? Yes, it's a Polish vampire film. Okay. And it's Severn releasing. So there you go with that. I Like Bats, 1986. When a happily single young vampire falls for a handsome psychiatrist, she discovers that no affliction is more horrific than love. It is a Polish vampire film. And folks, for your enjoyment. Now, Meyer Greenblatt is on the scene. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Howdy, horror fans. Michael Taylor says, hello, Meyer. Mike Meyer Greenblatt. Hey, Michael. And so let me show you guys real quick. Here's the trailer to I Like Bats.
Tak żyć nie można, Izo. Przecież ktoś musi ci się podobać.
Nie, nikt.
Wczoraj w Lasku Kalifornijskim zamordowano młodą kobietę. Tutaj jest napisane, że to morderstwo na tle seksualnym.
Całuj mnie.
Piękna wampirzyca i jej mordercze uzależnienie.
Ja jestem wampirem.
A ja psychiatrą.
To jest tylko wytwór twojej wyobraźni. Wampiry nie istnieją.
A teraz powiedz, kim jesteś naprawdę?
Jestem wampirem.
W cyklu Demony i Grzesznice lubię nietoperze Grzegorza Warchoła.
Ciociu, znowu?
W lutym w telewizji Kino Polska.
So have you guys seen that one before? What the hell? I like bats? I mean, what? I mean, I tell you one thing, I'm going to watch this film. That trailer looks really cool. And it's a Polish vampire film. Okay. You don't see much like that, you know? Daniel Sweet says, those are typical Nashi movies, right? The ones that I was just showing before. What the fuck? Will be okay if they skip the people who own the dark. I don't know that one. I can tell you, Daniel Sweet, they've bought up what looks to be the entire Paul Nashi catalog. That's all I can say. Shadowhawk Cox, it's not coming in on mine, but you've said something. Meyer Greenblatt, this looks good to me. Yeah, I like bats. Looks really cool and different. It's stuff that, they're just we're not seeing anywhere else. I don't know about you guys, but I'd never heard of I Like Bats before. It looks totally intriguing. The cinematography looks fantastic. It looks great. Like a really top-notch film. So I'm looking very, very much forward to that. This looks good to me. Yes, indeed, it does. Michael Taylor. Mike, unfortunately, the language is foreign. Yes, it is. It's Polish. It's what we call Polish. Daniel Sweet says, I Like Bats looks like fun. Love vampire movies. Yeah, I like a really good vampire movie, Daniel Sweet. There's nothing worse than a bad vampire movie, in my opinion. And that's kind of what gets me on that sometimes. But this one looks good. Eggnome says, I prefer subtitles to dubbing, but I understand Tubi mostly having dubbed, considering, yes, I can't even get the youngins to watch a black and white film these days. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear you, man. I totally hear you on that. Shadowhawk Talk says, never heard of it, but gotta watch it now. Yeah, I'm definitely. It's on the list, guys. I love this image too. It's hilarious. I mean, God, Polish horror film. I'm all into it. Now, this one is older. This is Barbara Steele, An Angel for Satan, 1966. If you can believe that, man. This is, let's see. After a cursed statue is recovered from a lake, a young heiress inflicts a torrent of depraved seduction and homicidal madness on the local village. Depraved seduction, huh? Well, that's going to stay on my list. That's what I'm saying right now. That's looking. I mean, Barbara Steele. Come on. I got a feel for Barbara Steele, as it were. Now, let's take a look here. Shadowhawk Talk says, yeah, forget trying to get the kids to read dialogue. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a toughie right there. Now we're coming up. Now we're going to jump ahead. 1995, John Carpenter's version of The Midwich Cuckoos, which is, of course, The Village of the Damned. And I liked it. I liked this a lot. Of course, the original, it's hard to really surpass the original film, but he did a great job with this. Christopher Reeve, Kirstie Alley, Linda Kozlowski, Michael Paré, Mark Hamill in this damn film, Thomas Dekker. Really great cast, and I thought they did an excellent job. It's John Carpenter, man. It's kind of hard to, he doesn't make. It's rare that he makes a bad film. And Village of the Damned, I thought was a really, a genuinely good remake of a great film. Beware the children. An evil unseen force impregnates the unsuspecting women of a tiny village in horror master John Carpenter's chilling version of this sci-fi classic. Yes, indeed. I would definitely call this, people, and they even say it here. It's kind of funny. It's listed in the horror mystery. It is. It's also science fiction, and they call it sci-fi classic. So to me, it's sci-fi horror. There's just a lot of sci-fi horror stuff. It's a subgenre, and I think it's totally valid. Um, Shadowhawk Talk says Carpenter is just so good. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's one of our America's greatest horror filmmakers, no doubt about that. So that's on the list. Footprints on the Moon. Footprints on the Moon. I've heard about this. I think I saw it. 1975 horror thriller, believe it or not. A woman with recurrent nightmares about a stranded astronaut tries to piece together her recent days after waking with part of her memory missing. Okay. It's one of those, as I recall, it's just one of those weird. Klaus Kinski is in this film, folks. He's one of the leads. And as I recall, it was just one of those trippy, surreal types of kind of horror, films. Footprints on the Moon. You might be interested. Egno on the scene. I don't know. Carpenter started getting pretty shaky at around Escape from. Oh, I loved Escape from L.A. Are you kidding? And I mean that because the satire. Now, one of the reasons why I loved Escape from LA was that having lived in LA and during the time that that film came out, the satire is right on. It's kind of like, They Live. The satire that is just right on the target. Escape from LA is a complete futuristic, whatever you want to call it. It's speculative fiction satire, and he just reams Hollywood. He completely rips Hollywood a new asshole in that film. If you watch it again, you'll see what I mean. I mean, he's going for broke on that, and I can see that Kurt Russell was totally in on it. He must have just loved the script. You guys know how Kurt Russell is. He is not one for uh, you know, hanging out with the Hollywood bros, as it were. Now, so I love Escape from L.A. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, well, indeed, Shadowhawk. There. Let's get back to our selections now. 1990, Vampire with a Y. Okay, another one that I can't say that I've seen. This is let's see. In a sleepy New England village that time forgot, a mysterious stranger arrives on a mission to eradicate a timeless evil in the form of vampires. Uh, got me on that one. I don't know. I just don't know what that is. 1990. Vampire. Here we go, folks. Check it out. Yeah. They've added Maniac Cop 1988. And I think, and it's, Troma's carrying it now. Maniac Cop 1988. When a killer dressed in a police uniform begins murdering innocent people on the streets of New York City, a young cop becomes the chief suspect. Of course, Tom Atkins, good Lord, Bruce Campbell, Richard Roundtree, directed by William Lustig. And as I said, there's your Maniac Cop 2 right there. And they have They Live, by the way. They also have Intruder. But in any case, they do have both the Maniac Cop 1 and 2. Highly recommended, guys. I know some of you have seen Maniac Cop. It's really quite hilarious. Eggno. I mean, after L.A., that was when he lost his Hollywood back. Yeah, he's lost his Hollywood backing. Exactly. Darkman was good. Yeah, Darkman's great, and Darkman is on Tubi, folks. I'm gonna get to that in just a second here. Great to see it on Tubi. We have, of course, Drag Me to Hell. Speaking of Sam Raimi, this is a great Sam Raimi film. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but great horror film, really well done. Director Sam Raimi returns to the horror genre with a vengeance. When Christine decides to evict an old woman, she becomes the victim of a spirit determined to drag her to hell. There you go, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Sam Raimi, Justin Long, Allison Lohman. Very well done horror film. Just a solid horror film from 2009. Highly recommended if you have not seen it. The Fourth Victim, 1971. I know we're skipping all over the place here, folks, but look, when these things drop, I just put them up. I'm not trying to follow any kind of pattern here. This is also, you see, this is how we see how things work here. Now, you guys, obviously we've seen a couple of films thus far tonight when I load them here that are from Severn. So Tubi gets a deal from Severn, and they're like, yeah, okay, give us 50 of your films or whatever that you have. And that's exactly what's going on here. So we see a lot of 70s and 80s exploitation from Severn on Tubi now. And it's fantastic. They're making deals. It's great, man. The Fourth Victim, 1971. When a wealthy Englishman, wait a second, what? Oh, when a wealthy Englishman's third wife dies suddenly, the police launch an investigation upon discovering that his previous wives met similar ends. I love this poster art. It's great. It is kind of weird though. Let's go back. Oh yeah. Because the poster, I think it's the I or maybe it's the V that's sharp, and it's actually going into her back, causing the blood to come out of her back. I wonder why they changed that. That's kind of weird. Let's see what we got here. Jacob, hey, how's it going, man? Horror Mike made it. I can't read. The only thing I can see from here are just little rectangles. Pardon me, guys. A good one, Drag Me to Hell. Yeah, it's a hell of a film. Great movie indeed. Lots of good scares. Yes, indeed. Daniel Sweet, Drag Me to Hell goes for the throat and never lets go. Yes, you're absolutely right, guys. Absolutely. Anybody that uses Tubi, put that on your watch list. It is fantastic. Basket Case 3, people, nothing. No, I'm kidding. This is became a Trauma release. Of course, it's Frank Henenlotter, and they do have the original Basket Case on here and Basket Case 2. So they have all three Basket Case films. You at least have to see Basket Case, the first one. It's really quite good. The other ones are really entertaining. It becomes even more comedic, I think, as they go along. But they're all three of them are they're worth watching. The first one is particularly good, and Frank Henenlotter does a lot of. He's really a good low budget horror filmmaker. Dark Man. Yes, indeed. Here we go. 1990. Again, Sam Raimi. What is this? Sam Raimi Appreciation Week or something? Good Lord. No, I'm just kidding. I love Sam Raimi. Good God. Even I can forgive him for Spider-Man 3. I mean, come on. Or can I? I don't know. But in any case, 1990. On a quest for revenge, the anti-hero known as they're trying to sneak it in there. I love how Raimi starts it off with the original Universal logo. I love that. He's he's one of those filmmakers that he pays reverence to the classics, and that's what makes part of what makes his film so great. In any case, the anti-hero known as Darkman assumes alternate identities to fight his foes in this fast-paced action thriller from director Sam Raimi. Spider-Man. Yeah, there it is right there, man. It's Darkman is just fantastic. If you've not seen it, put it on your Tubi list because you're gonna want to watch that one. Okay. Shadowhawk Talk says basket case. I've watched them all. Yes, indeed. The baby baskets just crack me up. Yeah, they're hilarious. It is. It's funny, and I think it gets more comedic as it goes along. It gets funnier. I mean, the first one's pretty grim. I mean, there are some funny things about it, but man, it's pretty dark. But they're all worth watching. Then we leap ahead to 2014. I don't know if you guys have seen this film. It's called The Signal. There was another film called The Signal. It's also good. This is yet another one. Not to try to confuse you guys, but there was another one that came out around the same time called The Signal. This is the one with Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne stars in this mind-bending and suspenseful sci-fi thriller about three college students who encounter a mysterious signal in the desert. It is really bizarre. It is really bizarre. I mean, I like it for its audacity. It really goes way out there, and it's intriguing. It's just it's such a bizarre science fiction kind of yeah, I guess sci-fi thriller would be a good way to put it. It's action oriented, but it is just so strange. It's such an interesting premise, an unusual premise. I highly recommend it. It is definitely not boring. If you like a good mind-bending sci-fi film, try The Signal. I'm going to watch it again, definitely. Um, let's see here. Daniel Sweet coming in. Tubi deserves the Nobel Prize. Spider-Man 3 cannot be excused. There is no excuse. Damn you, Sam Raimi. No, yeah, whatever. It was just, look, people have a lapse. Every filmmaker, you can look at all, your favorites, whatever. John Carpenter, doesn't matter. George Romero, John Carpenter, you name it. They've all made what could be considered kind of a lousy film or just not up to par with their typical work. And Spider-Man 3 was this, he just dropped the ball. That's all there is to it. I don't know what the background is beyond that. The just if there was some kind of a studio issue or what. I'm not sure, but man, it was lame. I think lame is a good way to put it. Okay, so now we have 2018's Mortal Engines. I've heard about this film. I saw a trailer like back when it was coming out, and I didn't know what to really think of it. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's Peter Jackson produced, directed by Christian Rivers, starring Hugo Weaving. Uh, has anybody seen it? Is it good? It says Peter Jackson presents a world unlike any you've seen. A young woman leads a band of outcasts to stop London, a predator city on wheels, from devouring everything in its path. I mean, I don't know. Visually, it looked really intriguing, and that synopsis sounds really cool. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I mean, is it any good? Let's see. Michael Taylor says, "I heard they are remaking Alive. You mean the one about the Andes crane plane crash where they have to resort to cannibalism. Wow. Well, if they do it, if they do it justice, that could be good. But in any case, Mortal Engines, I don't know. Here we go. We're starting to get into some freaking 1980s, 1990s Road Warrior ripoff, post-apocalypse movies. Empire of Ash 2. People Nothing. Uh, 1989. New Idaho, 2050. The few survivors of a deadly virus that has laid waste to the human race fight for their freedom against the new evil empire. Okay? And so it was directed by two people, so you know it has to be doubly as good. I don't know. Empire of Ash, I give up. Intriguing poster. Warriors of the Wasteland, 1983, folks, from Red Rocket Media. Red Rocket, Red Rocket. Let's see here. 1983. In a post apocalyptic future, two mercenaries help wandering caravans fight off an evil and aimless gang of barbarians called the Templars. Huh. Huh. Mercenaries help a wandering caravan to fight off a gang of barbarians. That just sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah, okay, so you know what we're talking about here. This is Warriors of the Wasteland, 1983. Wheels of Fire, 1985. Right here, folks. In a post-apocalyptic realm ruled by a vehicular gang, the Highway Warriors, a psychic and a bounty hunter, help a hero rescue his kidnapped sister. You got me on that one. I've never heard it. 1985, Wheels of Fire. I'm gonna check it out though. I'll give it a try, no doubt. Okay, here we go with 1987's Equalizer 2000. Now, I don't know what the hell. Let's see here. Egg Gnome is coming in. He says, I don't like saying anything negative about Carpenter. He's made my two favorite movies. Pardon me, guys. The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China. But he also made Ghosts of Mars. Egg Gnome. I've seen Ghosts of Mars like 3 or 4 times. I like it. I like it in a weird way that is not like liking a typical John Carpenter film. It's successful in a bizarre way. I don't know how to, I mean, it's kind of like he was taking like 1980s cues in making that film, and it's just somehow really enjoyable. It's really weird. I mean, I'm not even comparing it to They Live or The Thing or Big Trouble in Little China, but it's just got a certain exploitative quality about it that I really, really love. Michael Taylor says, I think I have the wrong movie. Okay. Daniel Sweet says, I like the Andy's Cannibal movie. Oh, Survive. What the hell am I talking about then? What's Alive? Are you, Michael Taylor, are you talking about It's Alive? About the mutant baby? Maybe? Low budget and down and dirty. I'm a sick pup. Yeah, that was the Survive. I thought it was called Alive. I kind of screwed that one up. Carpenter's Vampire is pretty sweet. Yeah, that was. I mean, James Woods. If you took James Woods out of that equation, I think it would have been far lesser of a film. But James Woods is just awesome and everything. He makes a lot of films well worth watching. Okay, so we have Equalizer 2000. Equalizer 2000, 1987, folks. In a post-apocalyptic future, a single weapon could tip the balance of power. One heroic soldier has it, and everyone else will kill to get it. All right, Robert Patrick is in this, believe it or not, 1987. So, he's cashing in on that Terminator exploitation. Yeah, and we go to Raiders of the Sun. Got me. 1992. Gunpowder is worth killing for. In a post apocalyptic future where a fearless warrior is the only thing standing between civilization and chaos. Well, there you go. Okay. God, it looks like, I mean, they're just ripping it. Okay. Yeah. Well, of course they are. It's 1992. Everybody's ripping off the Road Warrior and so forth. The Sisterhood.
The final war leveled the
Oh,
old world to the ground.
check it out.
It also demolished all form of order. Warlords ruled with iron fist and ravaged the land. The strong prevailed. The weak fell by the wayside. Amidst this chaos and anarchy, a band of gifted women roamed the outlands, pledged to the sacred duty of restoring peace and equality. They were called the Sisterhood.
Oh. Well, okay. Now, I'm liking the poster a lot. I don't know if you guys can kind of. I'm going to try to zoom in. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a zoomy. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, crap. What happened to my poster now? See, now they just blocked my damn poster. Ah, there it is. There, maybe that helps, guys. I don't know. Here, I'm going to give you a full screen if you can see that poster. It's quite sexy indeed. The Sisterhood. So that could be something. That could be something right there. I don't know. I've got it on my list. It says on top Roger Corman's post nuke collection. So Corman had a post nuke collection, folks. Oh boy. Let's take a look. Let's go back here. It's alive. Yeah, it's alive, Michael Taylor. I liked it. A lot of people just really didn't like the original film. I don't know why. I thought the baby was really cool. Maybe the remake. I mean, it obviously with special effects and stuff. As long as it's practical, I will not tolerate a CGI monster baby. Okay. It's kind of like, folks, what they did with freaking Child's Play and Chucky. That new version where he was all CG. That was garbage. I don't know about you guys, but Jesus, what a awful thing. Yeah, 30 Days of Night is great, man. I loved it. Yeah, great flick. Daniel Sweet, 30 Days of Night has some disgusting vampires. Yeah, they're also really interesting. That was the one thing, I love the isolated scene. They're in Alaska. It's kind of like remote because everybody's left, of course. It's 30 Days of Night and all that shit. And I love those scenes like that, like with the settings. It just makes everything much more intense. It's kind of like The Thing, right? Carpenter's The Thing, or The Thing from Another World, where they're kind of stuck in a remote location and they have to deal with, whatever they're dealing with. And 30 Days of Night is just really good. Really well done. Meyer Greenblatt says, all right, I just now finished starting Tubi and started my watch list. All right. Good show, Meyer. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. I mean, look at all the stuff they got. Daniel, I agree. Michael Taylor says. Daniel Sweet, you made a wise choice, Meyer. Yes, indeed, he did. Daniel Sweet, Larry Cohen always thought outside of the box. Yeah, I love Larry Cohen. I think Q is such a great film. The animation in that, Quetzalcoatl or whatever, however the hell you pronounce it. Michael Taylor says, "What language do those vampires speak?" Well, it was some Slavic thing, right? Because they were supposed to be like from, maybe from Russia or Ukraine or Romania, maybe. There was somewhere in there. I know it. There was something, maybe the comic book got into that. but it was some kind of it seemed to me like a Slavic uh, dialect there. Maybe somebody knows in the chat, but I believe it was. I think that was the deal with that. So what we've got here, folks, next up, everybody's, well, it should be on everybody's list. The Arena, 1974. Okay. This is starring Pam Grier and Margaret Markov. Okay. And whoo, yeah. In ancient Rome, interest in gladiator, interest in gladiator contests is revived when female challengers are introduced into the arena for fierce battles. And there's a lot of titillation happening in this here film, folks. If you want to see Pam Grier en natural, of course, along with Margaret Markov and some other really fine ladies in there in the arena, well, then this is your film. You should really put this on your list. I don't think you'll be disappointed. 1974, The Arena. Gladiator girls in action. Okay, that's what I'm trying to stress here. Now, here's a film from 1993 called Badlanders, amazingly picked up by MGM. Let's see here. Bikers and warriors in a distant dystopian future are oppressed, a fact that a lone rebel sets out to fix in order to free the entire world. Of course, it's that kind of film right there. It's called Badlanders. And there you go right there. I have no bloody idea. I just put that on here. Okay. Well, let's see what we got here. Um, Meyer Greenblatt. I canceled. Oh, Eggnome says, Meyer Greenblatt, I canceled all my paid streaming services except Nebula because of Tubi's goodness. And that was a good move, Eggnome, because in reality, nobody is beating Tubi for their selection of movies. Now, yeah, they may not be getting all of these first run movies that are coming out of Hollywood. I don't care. I wouldn't watch them anyways. It's all a bunch of brain aids as far as I'm concerned. Garbage, woke garbage. I love this. This is like a treasure trove of stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s primarily. Of course, they do have new stuff. They just added the John Wick movies, and they get a lot of new films too, or at least relatively new, like within the last couple of years, which is fine with me. Yeah, I have no need to, subscribe personally to Netflix or Hulu or whatever the hell. I will not give Disney a dime. Okay. I will not give them a damn dime. Daniel Sweet, Arena. Yes. Daniel Sweet. And, Wiley J draws Brown Sugar. Yes, indeed. How come she danced so good? And well, I don't think we really need to, theorize about that. It's freaking Pam Grier. That's why she danced so good. And Daniel Sweet says, saw a trailer for Arena retitled The Naked Warriors, and indeed, there is truth to that title because they do all get butt naked, at least at one point during the film. They're not battling naked, but they're naked. They're rounded up, I think, and they're naked. Michael Taylor, I think it took place in Alaska. Yeah, that was 30 Days of Night did take place in Alaska. Daniel Sweet, watch Death Sport and you won't need sleeping pills. Ouch. Ouch, that's painful. That is painful. Wiley J. Draws says, I tried to watch a new movie, Gray Man, last night, and I lasted about 20 minutes before I turned it off. Yeah, that sounded familiar, Gray Man. Is that on Tubi? Or is that actually a brand new film that's like for rent? It sounds familiar, though, Gray Man. Daniel Sweet. Tubi is like going back to the drive-in era. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on with Tubi. Now, I don't know, guys, because I'm not on Netflix or Hulu. Amazon, I would imagine, Amazon Prime has got some of these films. I would bet anybody good money they don't have all of these films. Oh no, they do not. There is no doubt about that. New on Netflix, Gray Man. Well, there you go. I mean, what the hell? It's just as far as I'm concerned, Tubi is the way to go. Also, as I've told you guys before, Canopy is great. It is a free service. If you have a library card, you hook it up on canopy.com, and that's with a K, Canopy with a K. And you get 8 free, commercial-free movies a month. And they will have first-run movies in there. So it's a good deal. Of course, also, you guys are probably aware of, I think people have mentioned Pluto, of course. There's Freevee, which is great. Freevee has got The Hunt. If you haven't seen The Hunt, you got to see it. It's on Freevee. It's the only place I've seen it for free on Freevee. And of course, Crackle is in there. Peacock used to be good, but they suck now because now you go in there and they used to have it used to be kind of mixed 50-50. Like they'd have, they'd add new films. So 50% would be free with commercials. And then 50% you had to actually subscribe to their service. Now it's like 90% of the movies the new ones they get on there, you have to subscribe. So screw that, man. Daniel Sweet says the only way I'd walk across the street for a new Disney would be to pull the projector cord. Yeah, Walter is spinning in his cryogenic tank. Indeed, he is Daniel Sweet. Good God, man. So we got Death Sport. This is 1978 with David Carradine. Motorcycle gladiators fight to the death in a post-apocalyptic future, teeming with mutant cannibals, atomic wastelands, and daredevil thrills. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a snoozer. Future Kick 1991. I don't know. Set in the future. Hey, really? Really? Future Kick set in the future? That's okay. Well, that's taking a gamble. But in any case, set in the future where a sinister corporation sells black market body parts. It takes an armed kickboxer to take them on and restore law and order. Of course, the mighty Don Wilson, Meg Foster is in this film, and Chris Penn, folks. So it could be amusing. I don't know. Here we go with 1996 Virtual Combat. Let's just listen to that. Apex Entertainment right there. Pardon me, guys. I still am battling a cold I've had since Halloween night. God, just still bugging the hell out of me. This is also a Don Wilson film, starring Don Wilson. Believe it or not, with Rip Taylor. I got to watch it just to see what the hell is. Oh my God, I could see Rip Taylor and Don Wilson in a scene. That would be hilarious. In any case, Virtual Combat 1996. After a scientist brings virtual reality characters to life, a human cop must defeat an evil warrior while saving 2 virtual reality women from a cyber sex game. Oh, this has just got entertainment, all over it right here. It's Shout Factory, my good friends, from 1996. That's absolutely on the list, and I'm going to absolutely watch it. There's no doubt about that. Wiley J. Draws says, remember Death Hunt with Bronson and Lee Marvin? Haven't seen it since I was a teenager, but remember it being good. Yes, as a matter of fact, it's been years. Probably been 20 or 30 years since I've seen that. As I recall, it was entertaining. Daniel Sweet, Probably wore your throat out Halloween night. Yeah, I know. That was a 5-hour marathon, folks. And I was, man, the next day, not only was I hungover, but I could feel it like my sinuses were starting to, flare up and the whole thing. And sure enough, I had a cold. So I'm currently battling that cold type of thing, and it kind of sucks. But so in any case, here, let's take a look. Future Fear 1996. Again, we're kind of sticking with this 1990s, mid 90s thing. An able-bodied scientist has found a cure for the plague from outer space, which has eradicated almost all life on the planet. A mad general who wants to repopulate the planet with a new race sends a special female assassin to take him out. Stacy Keach, folks. Stacy Keach is in here. Maria Ford. That must be the chick that's sent to take him out. I have not seen this film, so I don't know. It says the the subheader is a cure more deadly than the disease. Okay. Well, I'm going to check it out, definitely. Okay, here we go. 2011 Planet of the Vampire Women. Now, it says sci-fi comedy, and I love the poster. I love that vampire right there. I don't know what the hell this. Oh my God, it's Wild Eye. Okay, watch it. Yeah, just okay. It's Wild Eye. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say any more. Not gonna say any more. After a group of space pirates pulls off an impossible heist at a casino, they encounter a coven of deadly vampires who have plagued their spaceship. Well, I'm gonna check it out. Uh, I don't know. That's a hell of a cover. Uh, you know, I don't know. It could be. Oh my God. And I love it too when you're watching when you're online with the Tubi and also on like on Roku, whatever. And they also have like you may also like, and then they just got a ton of these other movies you just haven't seen before either. Alita, Vampire Mistress, 2012, Strippers versus Werewolves, 2012. Blood Scarab, that's a Don Glut classic. I don't know if you guys know Don Glut. Don Glut made a lot of kind of horror skin flicks, B movie skin flicks. I think he's still doing it off and on. But he also wrote the novelization to The Empire Strikes Back. So there you go. It's kind of a combo there. Red Venom Kills from 2018. Jesus. Uh, pardon me. Pardon me. Check it out. Four MILFs versus Zombies. What? 2015? There's Galaxina with Dorothy Stratton. That is on. I'm adding that to my. I can't believe I didn't add that to my list. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. Okay, and we're gonna go back because I think I got. Didn't I put Battle Queen on here? Oh, maybe I didn't. Nope. Well, I just added Galaxina, 1980, and of course, if you haven't seen that, you got to see it. It's great, man. I mean, it's great because Dorothy Stratton's in it. That's kind of primarily why it's really good. A sexy blonde android, of course, that is Dorothy Stratton, helms the crew of an interstellar police cruiser on its 27-year mission to find a mystical gem with limitless power. Avery Schreiber is also in this. Stephen Macht. So there you go. J.D. Hinton. Directed by William Sachs. Great cover. And I know a famous artist did the cover. I just can't remember who. But yeah, Dorothy Stratton is really smoking hot in this film. And they also recommend The Phantom Empire. Great cover. Oh my God. Am I going to have to add that to my list too? I'm going down a rabbit hole here, folks. It's good Lord, what the hell? Okay, hold on, guys. Let me get back up here. Plague from Outer Space would have been a cooler title. Yeah, that is true. Chicks with guns, hello. Yes, indeed. 30 Days of Night Story was clever. Yes, it was. Strippers versus werewolves. I'm there. Yes, you are. Daniel Sweet, you're there. I mean, come on. Strippers versus werewolves. At least for 10 minutes. I mean, come on. Uh, Meyer Greenblatt, all it takes is watching and liking one Tyler Perry movie, and your recommended is never the same, right? Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh my God. Uh, Daniel Sweet says, "Thanks for the warning, Meyer." Wiley J. Draw says, "I need that Galaxina poster." Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's hold on, guys. I'm gonna find out who did that damn poster because it's God. It was oh hell, who did it? You'd probably recognize him in a second. Of course, that's really weird. Okay, Galaxy in a movie poster artist. You never want to give up the creds. You know what I'm saying? Um, good lord. Oh, wait a second. Movie poster artist uncredited. Hold on. Here we go. Who is it? Who is it? Art department. Robert Tannenbaum. Wow. Nah, I thought it was somebody. I mean, is he known? I don't know. He doesn't ring a bell. I need that Galaxy in a poster. Okay, I'm getting. There we go. Yeah, it's Robert Tannenbaum. Apparently, Wiley J. draws. That's what it says in IMDb. Michael Taylor, place that stays dark all month is a vampire's heaven. Indeed, it is. Igor, how's it going, man? Hi, Mike. Uh, good night or night horror people. Yes, indeed. Daniel Sweet, Phantom Empire is a Fred Olin Ray gem with Sybil Danning. Indeed, indeed, Matt. Did I just watch? Did I put a like on that? Yes, I did. Yes, indeed, indeed. I shall be watching that. Vallejo. I thought it was Boris Vallejo. I could have sworn, but they said Tannenbaum. Unless they're full of crap. But that's what it says on the IMDb. It says right here, art department, Robert Tannenbaum, movie poster artist, uncredited. But it looks, I could have sworn it was somebody. If it wasn't Vallejo, I thought it was somebody like him. But apparently, it's this guy Robert Tannenbaum. You know, I don't know, kind of strange. Let's see, Egg Gnome. According to horror writer Jeff Strand, a group of strippers is called a troupe. Just an FYI, a troupe, a group of. Okay, that's really weird. All right. Daniel Sweet. Hi, Igor. Daniel Sweet says hello. And that's all I got here, folks. That's my the list that I've got, but it's a hell of a list. I mean, good lord, they have added a ton of stuff on Tubi, and as per usual, and you guys probably already know the score. They add these, send in the troop. Yeah, exactly. They add these films every Friday, and then they add some more apparently on Saturdays, but the bulk of them are added on Friday. Maybe sometimes they start dropping them in Thursday night. I'm not really quite sure, but definitely Friday they're just dropping these suckers. And for some reason, recently, as I've had with the other a couple of episodes on the exploitation films, they have been dropping a ton of 70s, 80s, 90s exploitation. I mean, I have like they usually have a few, but they're just put. I think they've made a deal, as I said. Obviously, they have the Shout Factory, and on Tubi, they actually have the Shout Factory channel. You can, I don't know, save it somehow or whatever. But now they have Severn is on here, so they're getting a ton of films from Severn. Hey, it's Nanny Stronix, Nanny Stronix Crimson. Hello, Mike. It's a pleasure to see you again and see you making horror. Well, I'm not making horror, Nanny Stronix. I'm just talking about it. Hi, let's see. I'm Nanny Stronix. Greetings from Mexico City. Trick or treat. Now, Nanny Stronix and Igor live in Mexico, guys, and they were the people that did the special makeup effects for my film Witch Tales, which is currently, of course, on Blu-ray on sale on eBay if you're interested in getting a copy. And they have Danny Strong's has got I think they both really have years of experience in special makeup effects and did a superb job. I did a little bit, they did the majority of the stuff and did an awesome job. So I highly recommend it if you want to see some really groovy special effects. Also, Nanny Stronix is on, and Igor are both on Facebook. I don't know if they're on other platforms, but they are definitely on Facebook. Michael Taylor, Mike, thanks for coming on. Michael Taylor, cool. Yes. But in any case, yeah, if you want to see their handiwork, then check out my film Witch Tales, and a big hello and hola from Florida to Mexico to Nanny Stronix and Igor. Good to see you on the show here. But that's pretty much it, folks. I just wanted to give you a rundown of what's on Tubi, and I think you'll agree there's some fabulous stuff on the platform this weekend. I cannot wait to get into it. And I think it's Daniel, I don't know who somebody was saying up here. Somebody was talking about a triple uh well, watching, all three John Wick films back to back. I think I'll be doing that at some point because I just love those films. But in any case, I hope you guys, enjoyed this and got at least a few new picks out of the whole series. And just as a reminder, I will be doing the Sunday Nooner live Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, the Horror Mike Sunday Nooner. So we'll be talking about stuff. If you've got stuff to talk about, come on over to the show. And as a matter of fact, what we should do is talk about some of the films, because I'm sure if some of you guys are going to be watching these movies this weekend. So maybe we'll kick around some, we'll do a few, reviews or something because I plan on watching at least several of these, this weekend. Egg Gnome says, "Thanks, Mike. You're the best. Have a good rest of your night." Thank you, Egg Gnome. Thank you for coming by, and great to see you in the chat. Daniel Sweet, thanks, Horror Mike. See you Sunday afternoon. Yes, indeed. I'll see all you guys Sunday afternoon. You guys have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.